Oh, and that's last time you'll hear our little Christmas jingle, I'm afraid, because we are now coming out of the 12 days of Christmas. We'll have people listening or watching the show at the moment thinking, oh, Christmas is finished. Why is he still playing the Christmas jingle? Because, to me, the little Christmas bits and pieces that we create are like Christmas decorations. Now, behind me at the moment is still my little Christmas tree, and above that is my highly expensive wreath, which cost about 10 quid. Which Suko wasn't impressed with, was she? Suko, one of our more dedicated and loyal listeners in New York, did mention about 3 weeks ago she was disappointed with the decorations, didn't she? Well, I'm sorry, Suko. I haven't got time to run around the studio pinning up little bits of paper and tinsel and God knows what else all over the place, dear. It's a liberty, that's what it is. So there we are. Behold the United Kingdom Talk Christmas tree and wreath sitting behind me at the moment. If you're not watching and only listening, then you have to close your eyes and imagine a little tree sparkling away, little flashing lights. What's that stuff called? Fibre optics. It is the last time you'll see it because on the next show we'll be back to the mirror ball and the cowboy hat on the wall. All right? Hello to you. Welcome along. My name is Chris Reardon. This is United Kingdom Talk, our 3 times a week chat show, which you can find on the internet by going to the main United Kingdom Talk website, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Now, far be it for me to criticise anyone who does something similar to this. No names mentioned, no radio stations mentioned, but last night I was driving home from London, there's a clue there, and there was this bloke on the radio. He was dreadful. I know he did come on right at the beginning of the show and said it was the first time that he's ever done this. And blimey, could you hear it in his voice or not? It was coming up to the news, right? Fortunately, I don't have to, on this particular show, I don't have to deal with news or timings or anything. About the only thing I need to worry about doing this show timing-wise is to make it last exactly 57 minutes. Now, let me let you into a little secret. Right in front of me, on the left, is the bit of stuff I use to record the show, and on it is a clock ticking around. At the moment, it says 3 minutes, 22 seconds. Okay, now it says 3 minutes, 26 seconds. And it continues to climb up. So really, that's relatively easy for me. But this bloke last night, it was coming up to 1:30 for the news. And he just kept saying, well, it's just coming up to the news now. It's 28 minutes, so we've got the news in 2 minutes. You're listening to, and he said the station name, and we will be going to the news very, very shortly. We're still about a minute and a half away from the news, which is coming up at 1:30. I'll give you the phone number, and clearly he had no phone calls coming in at all. Now, I've always said, doing a radio show, you cannot rely on phone calls or emails or letters. I think my opinion is, and I'm not one to usually give my opinion, but my opinion is you should be able to do a radio show, however long it is, without the thought of emails or phone calls coming in. Yeah, okay, might be a talk show like this, but you've got to be prepared to be able to do the entire show without emails or letters. Okay? Certainly when I started doing this show three and a half years ago, there were no emails. No emails, there was nothing. But as time goes on, lovely people like yourself start emailing in and that sort of thing. But this bloke he was dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. I don't know if he did. I mean, you just imagine. I mean, this is quite a well-known radio station. You would imagine that they checked him out, that he'd done it before and that sort of thing. He might get better in a couple of weeks' time. I don't know, but it was. It's now coming up to 1:30, and we're still just before the news at the moment. You're listening to. I'm going to give you the phone number again, and it was like this, and that's called padding. Okay, that's called padding, and I've heard that before. Padding is where you talk, and you're trying to fill in a gap. I mean, I have a whole hour here and I manage. But there we are. So I just wanted to mention that we have this dreadful... Do you know any other dreadful talk show hosts? Apart from myself, of course. Okay? I am probably the world's worst. You do know that. But that's okay, because I know that. You see, that's the thing. It's when people think... I mean, we see them all the time. We see pop stars who... let me think of... take, for example, Britney Spears at the moment. She's not very good, is she? Okay? But she probably thinks that she's found the best singer ever. Huh? I mean, she might get out of that whole depression thing and I don't know what she's on and this, that and the other. But these people think they are fantastic. I'm quite serious. I don't want you to... Don't start emailing in. I know some of the people that have been with us a long time will now email in and say, oh, you're all right. No, I have a very low opinion of myself. But maybe that's the secret. Maybe the secret is when you start thinking highly of yourself, that's when it all goes wrong, perhaps. I don't know. But not for one moment. I didn't think the bloke I was listening to last night on the way home, I don't think he thought he was great or anything like that. But he certainly needs a little bit more practice. I'm sure he'll be all right. And it's just, oh, right. And then when the news came on, he sounded relieved. Trouble is, the news on the half hour on this station is only about a minute long, and then he sort of launched in, and then he had a couple of phone calls, so he was all right. But, oh, it was bad. And you just don't expect to hear that on a station as popular and as well known as this particular one I was listening to last night. Anyway, there we are. That's just a little thought on there. I've been to the doctors this morning. Now, you remember in the last show, I said to you, I might go down the dentist and choose another dentist. Well, what happened yesterday was I rung up the dentist and I made an appointment for 2:30 that afternoon. Now, the dentist at walking distance from here is about 35, 40 minutes. So a fair old distance, 40 minutes walk there and 40 minutes back again. So halfway there, my phone rang. And can you believe, I'd also incidentally made an appointment for this morning. Okay, so yesterday afternoon I had an appointment 2:30 in the afternoon for the dentist. But this whole mouth situation, I'm not quite sure whether we should be doctors or dentists, because I've got a sore throat one side as well. There's a gland up only on... I mean, I can feel it now. When I'm talking to you like this, there are certain times when there's like a lump. Not a hard lump, just like a squidgy lump that's appeared, that comes up on the right-hand side of my neck. On the other side, there's nothing, okay? Now, I worked out in my own brain, if it was a general thing, because I think you've got six, I don't know if you've got any nurses or doctors watching or listening, but I think you've got six glands. Have you got six glands? Two there, two on your neck, two under your arm, and two sort of where the, in between your legs. Is that right? Or sort of around that area? Now, I worked out in my own mind, if I had a blood problem or something like that, then they'd all be up, wouldn't they? But it's only one gland on the side, the same side as I've had the sore gum. Anyway, so I made one appointment for the dentist yesterday at 2:30 and one appointment for the doctor this morning at 2:30 yesterday and this morning at 10:30. Right. So yesterday I put my shoes on. I thought, well, I'll pop down to the shops because the shops are a little bit further than the dentist. That was around about 1:45 I left the house and I started walking towards the Bracknell shopping centre. I only wanted a few bits and pieces, loaf of bread. I'm not eating much bread at the moment, and that's done wonders for the weight. Oh, yes, I've lost about 6 or 7 pounds now. That's all right, isn't it, eh? So, on my way there, and around about 10 past 1, the phone rang. Well, actually, no, the phone didn't ring. My mobile phone bleeped, indicating there was an answer phone or text message, and I picked it up, and it was an answer phone message. And I rang the answer phone, and it was the dentist. Unfortunately, they had to cancel all the afternoon appointments because the dentist who was on duty that day had broken down in Reading, which is like the main town for the area, just down the road from me. And couldn't get anywhere because he wasn't sure what time the AA man was coming out. So I thought, oh well, you know, and I was a bit disappointed because it's the sore. Well, it's not a sore throat, okay. To talk to you now does not hurt me, okay. Breathing, no problem, nothing like that. It's a sore throat when I swallow. So if I do that, like this, oh, I can feel that hurts. So I have to be very careful. If I put my head to one side and swallow, like this, it's not so bad. But if I was to put it that side and swallow, that really hurts. So it's only on swallow and only on that side. And the last few days, it's been particularly unpleasant. Indeed, it's been stopping me sleeping. You know, you're sleeping there and thinking, oh, I hope I don't have to swallow in the next few minutes. And that I think the actual thought of that makes you then try and swallow it. Because when you're in bed and it hurts and you're trying to get off to sleep, and I haven't been sleeping well at all. So that was that. So I continued down to the shops, bought my bread, and then walked all the way home again. And it is a long walk. Time I got home was quite tired. I was really disappointed about the dentist, and they rung up and they left another message saying, we've rebooked your appointment for 10:30 tomorrow morning. Well, I thought to myself, well, that's no good because I've got the doctor tomorrow. Then I thought to myself, should I cancel the doctor and go to the dentist? And I thought, well, I've been to the dentist 3 times now and they haven't sorted it out. I thought, no, because I have to pay to go to the dentist. Yeah, it's a private dentist. But my doctor, I don't pay for. Here in the UK, we have the NHS, an excellent medical organisation, and everything is free at the point of contact. Okay? Except for things like prescriptions, which here in England we have to pay for. I gather in Scotland they don't pay for prescriptions, and I think Wales, it's much cheaper in Wales. So I thought, no, I'll leave the doctor's appointment. So I then rang the dentist, and it went straight to answer phone. So they must have all gone home as the dentist wasn't coming in. And I tried 3 or 4 times. Well, 10:30 is no good to me tomorrow morning. I'll ring you again when I need an appointment. Thank you very much. Put the phone down. Left a message on their answer phone, which clearly they'd been having trouble with, because I listened to the message and it says, hello, thank you for calling dentist. And then it goes, please don't hang up. Probably a lot of people hang up at them. Please don't hang up. If you have a problem with your mouth, we may be able to help you. And I thought, well, I've got a problem with my mouth. It won't stop uttering words. You know, it just keeps coming out, doesn't it? I can't stop. I have tried stopping it. I've taped sellotape around my mouth and it breaks open and I start talking all over again. So, and then she says, leave your message after the tone. Right, so I'm kind of waiting for this tone. And all I hear is, did you push the button? No. Is it working now? And eventually you got this tone. So I obviously don't know how to work the blooming answer phone in the dentist. No wonder they couldn't sort my mouth out. So that was that. So I went home, went to work at Belushi's last night doing the karaoke, which turned into a very good night. I thought it would be so close to Christmas and New Year's Eve. We thought it would be an awful night. And in fact, at the beginning of the night, it was looking like that. But within half an hour... See, the hardest thing on a karaoke night is getting those first people up to sing. Once you've had 3 people up to sing, it kind of rolls on its own and it all starts working. That's the hardest thing. I think that's where the job of whoever's doing the karaoke, in this case me, comes in. You've got to walk around and encourage people to sing. You need, if necessary, to make a fool of yourself to get people to join in. It's the only way to do it. So after about half an hour, it actually started working really well. Not only that, but the governor there, Robbie, now he hates karaoke. part of the thing of being a good manager of a club or a pub is to actually book things that you think will work, even though you hate them. Okay, now I have to tell you, Robbie hates karaoke, but he thinks it will work. And indeed, since I've been there on, where was it, Monday nights in Belushi's in Hammersmith, okay, since I've been there on Monday nights, we haven't had a bad one yet. Okay, it's never going to be packed on a Monday night in a venue. But you do little things like that, which, in the grand scheme of things, are not over expensive from my part. I mean, I don't charge a fortune for a Monday night. And it works, and it was very, very good last night. No, I mean, it really was. The only thing is, at one point, I did have this big Australian girl came up to me, and she sung one song, and as soon as she sung a song, and she was jumping all over the chairs and everything. Oh yeah, it can get a little bit rowdy, and I love it. You know how much I love that job there. It gets really rowdy in there sometimes, and this girl, she was jumping all over the settees with the microphone, singing, what was it she was doing? I think she was doing Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer. And she was really quite good, and she really was the life and soul. And as the night went on, she was kept coming over and talking to me. And then at one point, boys and girls, I was shocked and horrified when she came over to me and said, "You're really cute. Do you want to make out later?" Now, what does that mean? Do I want... I said, I beg your pardon? She said, "I think you're really cute. Do you want to make out later?" And I just kind of smiled at her. And I said, "Oh, go and choose another song." She says, "Well, I think you're cute." I said, "Go and choose another song." And I got rid of her in the end. Do I want to make out? What does that mean, dear? Does that mean, do we want to go out later? Or did she want me to, you know... What did she... She just came out with it like that. Girls, I hope you're not like that, my dears. Do you want to make out later? Anyway, the beauty of working with Robbie is and the beauty of us both working together is that we're both fairly... what's the word now? When you don't stick to a rigid format. Not variable. Oh, God, what's the name now? Flexible. That's it. I'm fairly flexible. And Robbie gives me the option. I'm actually booked till 12, 9 to 12. But it gives me the option, if I feel that it's beneficial, then I can carry on until round about 1:45. Now, the bar closes at 1 o'clock on a Monday. The thing is, when you're doing a karaoke night, you really do not want to go to time. It's never advisable to go to time, because then you have terrible trouble getting people out. The best time to finish is round about 20 minutes to actually finish the karaoke. 20 minutes or even as much as half an hour before the bar is due to close. So last night we actually carried on till about 1:45. So, and a damn good night by all. But I just want to point out, I didn't actually go and make out with her. All right, just in case you're all wondering. So that was the karaoke. And then I came home, watched a bit of telly. We had on one of the channels here yesterday afternoon, the remake of Journey to the Centre of the Earth. I don't know if anyone's seen that. Very good film. Who is the nephew? The nephew in Journey to the Centre of the Earth, young lad who goes caving with his uncle. Okay, and I've seen him in things before, and I can't think what he's been in. Has anyone seen that film? The remake of Journey to the Centre of the Earth. Okay, there's a young lad in it, blonde hair, who is the nephew of the uncle that go on the expedition. And I can't think what other TV films or programs he's been in? Does anyone know? Please let me know, because I was trying to work it out in my mind while I was watching this thing when I got home last. I watched a little bit last night and I watched another bit this morning just before I came up to talk to you. The email address to the show is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. All right? So watched that, came to bed, set my alarm for 9:30 so I could be at the doctor for 10:30. So alarm went off. Actually had quite a good stuff. Funnily enough, I didn't sleep too bad last night. The old swallowing business didn't appear to be as bad last night. You see, it gets worse and then gets better. I don't know what it's all about. It gets worse and better. So that was that. So 9:30, woke up in the morning, brushed my teeth, and then I left the house around about, I was about 5 minutes late. I left the house around about 25 past 10. I got to the doctor's 25 to 11. Wasn't too much of a problem. And in our doctor's surgery, they give you a number. And there's like a board. And everyone has a number, say, and it's a different colour. So everyone's got perhaps a red ticket with a number on it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the board, they've got a hook. And there might be, when it's your turn, you take your number and put it on the hook. So you look at the hook and it might say number 5 and you might have number 8. So you've got to wait for 6 and 7 to go and then you can go, you see. So I got there and she said, "What doctor is it?" And it was I recognised it was an Asian name. So and I don't know what about you, but I always find Asian doctors are fantastic. I don't know what it is. Asian and Indian, perhaps Indian doctor. Is that the same thing, Indian and Asian? Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe we've got someone watching who can tell me that. I'm sorry if that's if I've offended you by requesting that information, but I don't know. Is Asian and Indian, does that go together? If you see what I mean? Is an Indian person Asian? I don't know. You see, down in Australia, it's very different. Chinese and oh, hang on, no, I don't know about Chinese. Certainly Japanese people in Australia are classed as Asian. Where we here in the UK, we would not class someone from Japan as Asian. I know it's Asia, I know that, but we just don't. That's the way it is. Anyway, so she gave me my number 8, I think it was, and I looked on the board, and number 7 was on there. So I thought, fantastic. I'm up next, sort of thing. So I sat down in the waiting room, picked up a couple. You know, you flick through these magazines. I like to read these magazines like Country Life. Now, I don't buy such a thing. Country Life. It's about £3.50, that magazine. £3.50 for a magazine, dear. I'm not paying that to look at pictures. You can go on the internet and do it all for nothing, can't you? And I picked up this Country Life International magazine or something, Homes and Gardens International. I don't know what it was called. And I started flicking through that. And it had all these really big, posh houses for sale. Lovely magazine, beautifully put together magazine. But I wouldn't pay £3.50 for it. And I'm flicking through here, looking at all these lovely houses for sale, and they're all over £2.5 million. You and I could only ever dream to own such. Mind you, I don't think I'd like a great big house, really. What would you want a great big house for? What I would like is a much bigger garden, and I've got a lovely little garden out there, but I would like a bigger. What would I do to change? If I could change, I would keep this house, okay, but put it, I mean, I'm already surrounded by trees, but I would put this house right slap bang in the middle of a forest, and I would have a much bigger garden to look after. And also, I wouldn't have any cold weather. Because it's been very, very cold here recently. We're in the minuses. Yeah, I think there's one day last week, it didn't get above freezing, and it's frost on the ground. I hate it. So very nice flicking through these this magazine, and there was one part in the magazine that says, "What could you get for £500,000 in the world?" There was some beautiful places, especially Florida. Oh, there was a stunning place in Florida with a big pool and everything. Oh, it was nice, and Portugal and places like that. And it had some places in the Middle East. Now, the Middle East has never, ever appealed to me. I would not want to live in somewhere like Dubai or it's just never appealed to me that. I think I mentioned at the beginning of the year, didn't I? I was going to visit Israel, and I still would like to visit Israel and do the whole Bethlehem, Jerusalem, the Jesus thing. I would love to do that at some point, but I wouldn't want to live in the Middle East. It's very hot there as well, isn't it? I've got a friend, Nikki. She went out to Dubai to work as an estate agent. And it's regularly, it's like 42, 43 degrees there. 43 degrees. That's too much, that, isn't it, eh? Anyway, so that's that. So then it went beep, and a little light flashed on the doctor. In the waiting room, there's this like board with different coloured lights. And when the doctor is ready for the next one, it goes bzzz, and a little light comes on. And then the red light came on, and that was me. So I hung my little label on the hook and walked to the doctor, and she was right round the edge, and I opened the door, and this Asian, lovely lady, I think her name was Sanchev. Lovely, what a lovely doctor. She really was. I mean, they were all nice, but you know how sometimes you just know where you sit there and you know, I trust you. You know, it doesn't happen with all of them, does it? But I sat there. She says, "What seems to be the problem?" I said, "Oh, well, there's a few things going on there." And she sat and she looked at me, and I says, "I've had a bit of a problem with my mouth for a while, ulcers, a couple of ulcers and a white patch underneath." I said, "But a mouthwash that I've recently started using, I can't even remember what it's called, Chloricil or something like that." I said, "That seems to have cleared up the white patch and the ulcers. I've still got a little bit of a sore gum, top left there. I've been to the dentist 2 or 3 times now. He's not even been able to sort it out." She says, "Okay." I says, "I've got a bit of a sore throat, but only on that side." I said, "There, when I swallow." She says, "Okay." I said, "Also, I've got a cough. A lot of phlegm coming up. You may, well, if you're watching the show, now and again you do see me cough. I actually flick a switch so that you can't hear it because it's a bit unpleasant. Although sometimes I cough before I can get to the switch." So she said that. I said, "I've got a cough. I've got some phlegm coming up, but it's completely clear. It's not green or anything like that." She says, "Okay." I said, "I'm also getting," and I did this for you, Susan, actually. Susan, our cat lover. "I'm also getting a bit of a fluttering in the chest." I said, "It's bad." I said, "I don't think it's anything to do with my heart." And I explained it to her as I explained it to you a few shows ago, of, say, having a tube with lots of hairs in, and it's like something's passing through the tube, and now and again just brushes the hairs. It only lasts not even a second. It only lasts for a little bit of a second. Might happen once, and then nothing. It's not like it happens and then it happens again a few minutes later. Just now and again." She says, she says, "Okay." She says, "Well, let's have a look then." She started feeling my neck. She said, "No, that's fine." She said, "Oh, yes, it's up that side." And she looked in my mouth and she looked in my ear. Oh, I said to her, I kept getting a sudden sharp pain in my ear. I don't even know if it's so much as a pain. Yes, it is a pain. A sudden sharp pain in my ear, again, which only lasts a fraction of a second. And then it goes again. So I'm thinking, and it's all on this side, you know, all to do with this side. So she's had a good look. She says, "Yeah, I think you got it." And she started pushing my my glands on the neck. She said, "Does that hurt?" I said, No problem there." "Does that hurt there?" And she put her finger right on it, and I said, "Yeah, that hurts." "Okay." And then she did like where my stomach is. She started pressing my stomach, which I found a bit odd. I said, No problem there at all." She says, "Okay then." She says, "I think one of your glands has become infected." And she's given me some antibiotics, which I had to go to the chemist for. And she said, I didn't mention the fluttering guy. She said, don't worry about your fluttering. Probably something to do with your cough. However, if the cough goes and it's still happening, come back and see us. I said, okay, thank you very much. I said, I don't think it's anything to do with my heart at all. I said, I think I would know. I'm not skipping beats or anything like that. And plus, of course, you have to remember, I'm a fairly fit person. I do a lot of walking. I do a lot of swimming, although I just haven't felt like doing swimming with this blooming sore throat recently. I've not been for about a week now, to be honest. Although I did go for that long walk yesterday. I still walk a lot. And I always think with exercise and stuff like that, it's important to do something, okay? If you're not going to go swimming for a week, I mean, it's not going to hurt, is it? If you go swimming the amount of times that I go, and then suddenly you don't go for 1 week, it's not going to bother you, is it? You know, and I quite honestly, I just don't feel like this has pulled me down the last 6 or 7 weeks now, and I've got more and more fed up with it stopping me from wanting to do things. Also, it's quite hard at work, you know, managing to, in the job I do, when you're standing in front of a lot of people, karaoke, DJ or whatever, the bingo, when you're standing there trying to be happy, when every time you try and swallow, you're like that, and it's hard. So that was that, and I said thank you very much, and I thought, well, such a lovely lady, such a love. And she sat there, and after I'd run through all the symptoms, she laughed and she said, I wish all my patients were like that. I said, what do you mean? She said, well, usually I have to sit here and try and extract the information out. She said, that's a very thorough list of symptoms which we can work with. I love it. So that was that. So I went to the chemist. Straight. I couldn't wait to get the pills, to be honest. Which is not like me, because I really am not a pill taker. I'm very lucky in that I don't get headaches. Very, very rarely do I get headaches. My dad, on the other hand, he suffered with headaches. I mean, he really did suffer with headaches, my dad, from when I was a little boy, really. I always seem to remember that Dad would have a headache every week or every couple of weeks. And he used to take codeine, which I gather is quite a strong painkiller. But painkillers, anything like that, I never, ever, I very, very, no, actually, I was going to say very rarely, I'm going to change it. I don't take them. I never take them. Some people might think that's stupid, but it's just me. But in this case, I couldn't wait to get down to that chemist and get the pills and get them started, because I've had enough of it. I've just about had enough of it. Anyway, so I went into the chemist, and here in the UK, we have to fill out a little form for the prescriptions. And some people pay. I have to pay, okay, because I've got a good job and I'm not on benefits or anything like that. Other people who might be on benefits or might be over a certain age, or might have a very serious condition, they don't have to pay. But that's okay, and it cost me £7.50. I think it was £7.20 or £7.50 for my prescription. But I'm quite happy to pay for that because I can afford it, and that's fine. Okay. Other people will say, oh no, it should all be free. No, I don't go along with that at all. If you can afford to pay for the pills, then pay for them. There's too many of these blooming freeloaders around, isn't there? Eh? They want everything for nothing. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to work. They don't want to do anything. They want it all for nothing. Well, I hate that. If you've got the money to buy these things, then you go out and pay for them, and that's it. And she said to me, oh, I'll be back. This is the girl in the chemist. First of all, it starts with some blonde young girl on the till. And I filled out the form. And I don't know, she just stood there looking at me as if she was in a world of her own, this girl. She really did. So I got these penicillin tablets. What's it called? Oh, you want to see the name on the front of it? Oh, I'm going to show it to you there. It's ever such a long name. Phenoxymethyl penicillin tablets. And in fact, they've all got these great long names that no one can say, innit? So she said, well, it'll be about 20 minutes. So I filled in the form, paid the money and sat down. And then I remembered the doctor said that I could have some painkillers. And I thought, well, this time I'm going to get the painkillers because I've had enough of this swallowing. It hurts. And, it's just wanted the pain gone. So I went back there. I said, the doctor did say to this blonde girl again, she's only about 20, 22, sort of, I suppose. And I said, the doctor said I could have some painkiller stuff as well. But she said I had to avoid one of them because of asthma and it might give me a tight chest. And rather than be helpful and start suggesting things, she looked at me as if I was some sort of blimmin' idiot. She just, like that. And I'm thinking, you shouldn't be working there. So after a while, I said, well, is there anyone else that can help me? At which point, an older lady, probably about 50, came running down the stairs. She said, what is it you want, sir? So I told her. She said, oh, yes, sir. She said, you mustn't have that one. This is the one here. Oh, thank you very much. But why did she have to look at me like I was an idiot? You know what it was? You know how it is, once again, 2022. She probably thought I was trying to chat her up. That was it. She probably thought I was trying to chat her, and at the times that happens. Anyway, so I sat down in a chair and waited for my 20 minutes. And then one of the other ladies in the shop, she was doing some shelves, and suddenly I heard a load of stuff drop. So I jumped up at her. I said, you all right with that, love? Can I give you a hand? She says, oh, I keep dropping things today. I said, oh, don't worry about it. I said, I'm the same in the kitchen. Isn't it funny? Sometimes you might drop something, like, a pair of scissors or a knife or a fork or something on the floor, and you pick it up and you drop it again, and you pick it up and you drop it again. Has that ever happened to you? What's all that about, eh? How does that happen? Anyway, after about 20 minutes, it was only about 10 minutes actually, they called out my name and I got my what's it called again? My phenoxymethyl penicillin tablets, BP. Got my tablets, and I got my painkillers, and I rushed home, and that's the first thing I do. Got the instructions out. Now, I have to take 2 4 times a day before food. That's quite a lot, isn't it? That's 8 tablets a day, that is. God. I've only had 2 so far. Hang on, let me listen. I'm just going to shake myself. Nope, not sounding like a maraca yet. So I've had 2 of those already, and hopefully they won't take long before they kill whatever it is lurking around in my gland. I wonder what it is. How did it get in there in the first place? That's what I want to know. All these viruses and bacteria, they're crafty little gits, aren't they, eh? How did it get... I never let anything in my mouth that shouldn't have been there. I don't think. Oh, I never thought of that. Stop it now. Stop it. They are all these little bacteria, viruses. You close your eyes, you blink once, and bang, it's in there, isn't it, eh? Well, don't you worry about that. Whatever you are in my glands, my friend penicillin will get you. At the moment, it is now entering my body, seeking and destroying. How dare you set up home in one of my glands without even asking or offering to pay rent? Squatting, that's what I call it. I've got some bacteria or virus squatting in one of my glands. It's a liberty, that's what it is, dear. It's an absolute liberty. And if the officials at Bracknell Council knew that I had squatters in one of my glands, they wouldn't have it, you'd be straight out and you would be served eviction notices. So there we are. And now I'm here. So I've just taken those about an hour ago, and hopefully they'll start working in a day or so. Oh, I do hope so, because I can't put up with it much. If this carries on, I should just get a knife and surgically remove the glands myself, because I've had enough of it. So that's my day. All right? That's my day so far. Let me give you the email address again. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Now, we were going to continue telling you about my recent trip to my sister's. Where do we go? As far as Christmas Day? There's not a lot else to tell you, actually. Christmas Day, very nice. Had dinner. Nighttime presents. You saw the presents on the last show. Watched some telly, went to bed. Really? Because I weren't feeling well, we didn't go out. Jimmy, my little nephew, and I, we didn't go out for our nighttime walk. He actually asked to go out for the walk. Can you believe? Are you going out on your nighttime walk, Chris? I said, no, not today. I said, I don't feel tired. I feel tired. So that was that. And Boxing Day. My sister wanted to go out to some shops. Now, I have to be careful when I'm going out shopping with my sister because she never knows what she wants. Oh, yes, ladies, you know what I mean. She will go in a shop and she will go up every single aisle, and I can't stand it, dear. I cannot stand it. So there was her husband, little Jimmy, Tracy, my niece, and her boyfriend. I think her boyfriend Ben was with us as well. Yeah, that's right. So we went out, and bless me, Suko, for I have sinned. Before we got to the shops, we went to McDonald's. Now, we went to McDonald's, and quite honestly, I couldn't wait. Because, as regular listeners and viewers to the show know, last Christmas, I set a New Year's resolution of visiting, trips up on words, visiting McDonald's just 10 times. Or not McDonald's, fast food restaurants 10 times. That was my limit. I've just received this email from Suko. Dear Chris, this is the list as of today. Now, this she sent on the 20th of December of my jaunts to fast food restaurants. So far last year now it is. But Happy New Year, by the way. Did I wish you Happy New Year yet? Happy New Year. Yep. Last January, 2 apple pies at McDonald's. August, a stop at McDonald's after your uncle's funeral. And in brackets it says Sharon's fault. Sharon is my sister. And it was her fault because I had no intention of going to McDonald's. She forced me against my will to go into McDonald's. September, a stop at McDonald's for value meals, burger, chips and drink, and apple pie. Another stop at McDonald's, save as above. So there we are. Only 4 trips to McDonald's this year. I set a limit of 10. So I'm really pleased with myself. And on Boxing Day we did visit McDonald's, and I had a bacon burger. I did some Christmas festive menu. I mean, the only thing, I don't know about you, but I find with McDonald's, it's okay now and again. You know, I haven't got a problem with going once in a blue moon to McDonald's 2 or 3 times a year. I don't agree with people that go morning, noon and night there, and you do see them, don't you? The same people in there every single lunchtime. But the only thing is, it doesn't matter what you order. It all tastes similar, doesn't it? I wouldn't say the same, but nearly the same. Do you not find that? They bring out these festive menus and things like that, and it just all tastes the same. You might as well have, have a cheeseburger or a double cheeseburger or a Big Mac, and it all tastes a very, very similar taste to all of it. So we had that, and then we went to the shops, and yes, I was right. Sharon started looking everyone. I thought, oh no. I thought, should I have come out here? And then she, where was it? Did I buy anything? No, I can't remember now. But myself and Martin, we went into PC World to look at some electronic goods in there and bits and pieces like that. And what is it, my niece? I think she wanted to buy some. Did she buy something or not? We went into Curry's. What was it? Oh, no, my little nephew, Jimmy, 11, he wanted to buy himself a new mobile phone. Because I think he either lost the other one or it got broke. I think the screen cracked. So he bought a new pay-as-you-go mobile phone. Did he? But where did he buy it? I think he bought it in Comet. So he got that in there. And, of course, once you're in one of the electrical, then myself and Martin, we go and look at all the televisions, the nice big televisions and all the high-definition stuff. And I'm not going to buy one. I just like looking. And I asked the questions to the people who are serving in there. So we had a look at all the gadgets and what have you in there. I bought 2 packets of batteries while I was in Curry's. I I've got one of those long, you know, the mag light torches. Hang on, let me. Is it in here? I don't think it's here now. No. You know the long mag light torches? I've got two of those. One that stays in the car and one in the bedroom. And I noticed, I thought they were both dead, but the one in the bedroom, that's dead. So I bought 2 lots of 5 batteries, Duracell ones. £13, dear. £13 for 2 lots of batteries. That's dear, isn't it, eh? 13 quid for 2 lots of batteries. God, so well, it's a good job I don't have to keep replacing them. I mean, admittedly, I only change those batteries every 2 or 3 years when they're no longer good, because the torch in the bedroom had gone, well, I mean, it just wasn't lighting up, so the batteries must have been dead. But I haven't used it. I think they must deteriorate on their own, I think. And when I think about it, actually, the batteries have been in there a long time. And, of course, I got some batteries for the car torch as well. Because the last thing, I mean, if you break down, I'm not saying that I could fix the car, but without the torch in the middle of the night, you wouldn't have any chance at all. I remember when I changed that wheel on the Land Rover. Do you remember that? That was, that must have been 2 years ago now, when I had a flat tyre on the Land Rover, okay, at about 3:30 in the morning on Christmas night, when I was going to my sister's. Right in the middle of nowhere I was, in the fields, no mobile signal. Fortunately, I had a torch in my car and I was able to see what I was doing. If I didn't have that torch, I wouldn't. It was no moon. It was pitch black out there. Absolutely pitch black. So, you know, you should always carry a torch and maybe something to change the wheels with in the car. I've actually got some other little bits and pieces I bought recently. I bought... to sit in the boot. As I say, I got the torch. I've now got a pump. You know what you attach to the wheel, to the tire, and you can pump that up manually, which is quite handy. You know, if you're on the road, something like that, and you get a slow puncture, and you intend to replace or take the tire somewhere tomorrow to be fixed. You know, if it's a very slow puncture, it's a hell of a lot easier to attach this thing to the tyre, pump it up again to get yourself home, and then maybe in the morning pump it up again, rather than have to take the whole blooming wheel off and all mucking about like that, isn't it? It's a lot easier if you've got a slow puncture. You're lucky enough just to have a slow one. So I've got one of those in there now as well, and a couple of spare bulbs. Oh, incidentally, I changed a bulb yesterday as well on the car. Very butch, and it only took me 4 minutes. How fantastic is that? I'm getting used to these things now. I'm stuck. Watch out, all these DIY people. I'm not going to be calling you much longer. I'm learning to do all these things myself. Thank you very much. So I changed that bulb yesterday. Now, where was I? Oh, yes, so I bought the batteries in Currys, so we went out, and then we went to Comet. I think it was Comet then, and that's where little Jimmy bought a new mobile phone, bless his heart, which I have sent a text message on there already. Doesn't reply, though. I don't know why he bothers with a mobile phone. He never replies to anything that I send him. So that was that. Then we got back in the car, and my sister wanted to go to Asda Home and Living or something. Now this place, it does all sheets and pillows and DVD. Oh, they do everything in there except food. So I thought, oh, she's going to be some blooming time in here. Anyway, I went in for a quick look round, and then Martin went to this golf shop, which is possibly even more boring than going to Asda Home and Living. Golf doesn't appeal to me at all. I know it's a very popular sport, and Tracy's boyfriend Ben, he loves golf as well, and they're mad on golf. Martin is a bit more of a, shall we say, a professional player. I think he loves his golf, and he wanted a remote control caddy, which apparently is this trolley thing that's got. I don't know how it works. I mean, remote. I just assumed it would follow him around with all these golf sticks. What are they called? They're like little bats. I don't know what they are. I mean, how anyone can want to go and stand on a bit of grass for hours on end, banging balls into holes, is beyond me, dear. Please tell me the excitement of that. I mean, quite frankly, I think I'd be happier fishing. I've never done that either, fish. No, I haven't done that. So he went in there. Anyway, I had a quick look in Asda and I thought, oh, she's going to be in here for ages. So then I came back out and Martin was already sitting back in the car. So I got back in the car. I said, did you get anything? He said, no, they were too expensive. This particular thing was too expensive, so he didn't buy anything. So then we're sitting in the car and we're waiting and Sharon's not coming. I thought, oh, what is she looking at now? So eventually I rang her. I said, where are you? She said, oh, I'm just getting a cup of coffee. I said, a cup of coffee? She said, yeah, do you want me to bring you back one? I thought, oh, shut your mouth, Chris. Yeah, I'll have a cup of tea, please. I said, mate, tell him not to put too much milk in. So that was that. So she came out the shop. Oh, my voice is going, isn't it? 1 minute. So that's better. So she came out of the shop and she had these 2 cups there and we sat there in the car and we drank the cups and then we got back in and off we went. This was Boxing Day. The roads were incredibly busy. Ever so busy. Got back to the house. My other nephew, Gary, and his girlfriend, I think they'd had a row. That was quite... I'm not going to tell you about it. Absolutely not, no. It looked like they'd had a row. So then I went to bed and I got up a bit later. And then Jimmy had some lovely dinner. I can't remember. What did Sharon do? I think it was turkey casserole or turkey stew. It was very nice anyway. But she gives me too much meat. I shouldn't complain. I'm not a great meat eater. It doesn't matter where I am, restaurant or anything like that. I just have a little bit of turkey and heaps of vegetables and potatoes. That's what I like. So at the dinner, and then myself and my little nephew, we decided to walk over to Tracy's house, my niece, and her boyfriend Ben. It was a freezing cold night, Boxing night. Oh, it was blooming cold. It really was. So we had little hats on and we got coats on and off we went. And we got to my niece's house and immediately she offered chocolate biscuits and crisps. And I said, no, I'm off all the chocolates and the crisps at the moment. Oh, God. And, you know, isn't it funny? When you tell people that you've given something up or trying to cut back, they try and force you to have one, don't they? Oh, go on, have a chocolate. I said, I don't want a chocolate, JC. And she's got a handful of the chocolates out of this tin and just threw them over me on the settee. And a poor dog's walking around in a circle because I'm sitting on his settee. Because apparently the dog spends when he's at home, he spends his life on that. That's his chair. So I've come along and sat on this chair, haven't I? I am naughty. I said, I'm not having any sweets. And then she came over and tried to force a sweet into my mouth. No, I kept my teeth together like that and they were not entering my body. No chocolates. Thank you. I'm doing very well, thank you, Tracy. No chocolates. So that was that. And for some reason, Jimmy had some money in his pocket, the little one, and then started throwing it around. I thought, I'm going to teach you a lesson here. And it was these were 10. He had, I think, 3 or 4 10. No, he had 4 £10 notes in his pocket. I don't know why he's bringing out money like that. Because there's nowhere to buy anything on Boxing Night in Woodall Spa, where they live. Let me tell you that. So when he wasn't looking, I picked up one of the £10 notes, and I made it into rolled up the paper so it was really thin, and I attached it over my ear like that. Okay, just attached it behind my ear so you couldn't see it. And as the night wore on, you know, he's not mentioned this money. And then when he went to the toilet and Tracy came over, and I says, has he not mentioned that money? She said, yeah, he kept saying to me, do you know where that tenner is? Do you think Chris has got it? Anyway, we then watched a TV programme, which was an hour long, Bruce Forsyth's Generation Game on BBC Two from 1973. Bruce Forsyth Generation Game. Now, Bruce Forsyth is a top entertainer. He's in his 80s now and is still presenting programmes on the telly. And some people, some of these ageist people keep saying he needs to be moved on and he's doddery and all this business. Well, he isn't. And I think you should leave Bruce alone. I'm afraid there's plenty of people on the telly who look pretty but absolutely have no substance behind them at all. Bruce is a top class, and I wish people would stop knocking him. He is a damn good entertainer and can still sing and can still dance and do all of these things. So leave him alone. And we watched The Generation Game, 1973. 35 years old this programme was. And it was a great, great programme. Bruce Forsyth's Generation Game, hugely popular in the 70s. Millions, I think, is it 23 million people used to watch it or something like that? Now, if they get 10 million, they're happy. Okay, so we watched that, and then after that I said, well, it's time to go now. And he said, and then Jimmy says, have you seen my £10 anywhere? I said, what £10? He says, oh, I think I might have dropped it. Well, the next 5 minutes he spent taking out the cushions off the settee and looking behind everywhere. He's looking for this £10, and this thing is behind my ear. And I was going right up to his face. I said, how about this? Look down here, Jimmy. And I put my ear next to his face, and he still couldn't see it. He still couldn't see that. Couldn't see his money, bless his heart. Oh, I am wicked and naughty. And in the end, I said, here it is. And he looked at me, and I took it from... He said, how long was it there for? I said, the last 3 hours. Or the last 2 hours. I said, now that'd be a lesson to you. Don't throw your money around. And he shut up after that, and we walked back to my sister's. And that was it. And then the next day, didn't do a lot. Went home in the evening. And look, I'm out of time. I haven't even got to any of the emails. Oh, God, I'm sorry, I'm out of time. I've got to go. Listen, thanks very much for watching and listening to the show today. Chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is the email address. I'll see you on the next one. Myself, Chris Reardon. Bye-bye now.